welcome to this week's Market Watch. So, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, Market Watch is the market analysis session of the Smart Investors Lodge, where every Mondays we'll hear for weekly outlook. We'll look at the market events you should watch out for that will bring the most volatility and impact to your trades, to your investments, and also we'll do more like a price action forecast. So Monday's market outlook is where you should be to find out what the market does next. And I'm so excited and happy to say on today's show, as usual, we have Mr. Anthony Odinaka. Mr. Anthony Odinaka will dive us deeper into the technical side, the technical analysis sides of market watch. Greetings, Mr. Odi. How do you do?
I'm doing great, Mr. Gilbert. Thank you very much. And good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
Yes, my weekend was actually great. Looking at the market, I saw some bearish and bullish movements that I would love to talk about all the way into this week. I took some trades that they're still playing out. So, but generally, the major tokens I would love to share more about those major tokens this morning as we dive deeper into talking about the technicals this morning.
Oh, that's great to know. And I hope those who will be listening to this show are fully aware. In this show, we've always been able to predict almost all movements the market always make. I'm not saying that we will always be right. There'll be times we'll be wrong, but history, time has always proven us to always be right more time than we are always wrong. And so this is the best market analysis show in the worlds of cryptocurrency. And so welcome. So before we dive into more and more details and activity we're going to talk about, let's look at the market event we should watch out for. So yeah, the three market event you should watch out for. So what we have always done, like our tradition is that as we begin every new week, we always look at the three market events that can bring the most volatility. That is impact the market with prices moving upward or moving downward. So here are the three market events we are watching out for. So top on our list is the TOG token, which is set to list on almost all the major European exchanges. And this looks more like a major competition happening between, almost every European exchanges. They are looking for liquidity and they are all set to list the dog token. And dog token has been one of the airdrop I know most members of our community, me also in particular, got involved in. So I think this will be an opportunity for us to make money from the market. And then second on our list is happening on Thursday, which is Flocky holders are set to receive their card token. So if you're holding Flocky, this is good news for you. So you'll be receiving an airdrop for holding Flocky as cat airdrop. This is, to me, is one of the great things about cryptocurrencies. There are different ways you could earn dividends income or passive income, and airdrops like this are great. And then second on our list is the PC data, which is set to happen on Friday. So the price index, and this is one of the favorite gauge of inflation for the Feds. And so, a higher than expected numbers, it's inflationary, and this is bad for crypto. But then if we have lower number, it's quite good. It's deflationary, and this is also going to be great for crypto. So, however, these are the three market events we are to watch out for. But one thing I want you to know is that these three market events are capable of bringing market volatility. So, if you must invest or trade this week, as we dive into the new week, I want you to watch out for this event. I also want you to invest and trade smartly. So, without further ado, we will bring Mr. Antonio Dinaka to dive us into the technical side of the market. Let's look at the cryptocurrency market and we do more of a technical analysis and find out what the market does next in regards to price. Over to you, Mr. Anthony.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the smart investors. So just like you said, And statistically, we've seen that 80 to 85 to 90% of the time we've been able to call the market predictively, and the market has been respecting or has been playing out as anticipated time and time again. And we've been able to help people out there who really don't know what they are doing in the marketplace, help them get ahead, or to help them watch out for typical price movements as to what to watch out for as the week unfolds. So we are jumping into Bitcoin currency, the major cryptocurrency. Last week we saw both bullish and bearish movement in the market, and we called out earlier that we're expecting price to come back down to retest 8k price, 778k price before we a strong move to that will be that will get us 89 to 90k. Right here we are seeing that around these areas, sellers, we saw that seller volume reduced quite a lot. Sell volume reduced quite a lot around these areas. So for now, we might actually get either a range or a touch down to that 77k, and then before we start seeing a move to the upside, which is still playing out. We are still seeing that price is still hedging downwards to about the 7k, which is really good. Means that our price action forecast is, once we get that move to the downside, definitely price will be able to kick price back up to 90k. So from this 90k, I'll be expecting 90, 91k. I'll be expecting some reactions from this area too. Then I'll be watching out to between the battle between buyers and sellers as well, to see between the buyers and sellers who will be able to either break above or below. That's for Bitcoin. Then for Ethereum, looking at Ethereum, which is the second currency, which is the second largest cryptocurrency. So last time we spoke, we said we were expecting Ether to fall to as low as 1717. The red marker is still there. So from that 1760, recently getting a bounce. We're recently getting a bounce, but this doesn't mean sellers are done yet. There are some points to watch out for. Reaction points from this area, reaction points from this area. We need to watch doing. We need to understand that. We need to understand and wait for sellers to be. We might actually get price come to about and then touch back before we see price going back up to about above and thereabouts. So that's just it for now. We are just watching we're just looking at the two major cryptocurrencies that move the market, that move the general cryptocurrency market, which is Bitcoin and US. So over to you, the smart investor. That's it for the technicals. Thank you very much.
Okay. So this is more of a question. Last week we had the PC data come in, stronger than I expected, inflationary. We also had the job numbers coming out 1,000%, lower than we expected. Things are not really looking good in macroeconomics. Trump is set to give another tariff. How much of the chart captures that things are not about looking good, in a way smaller time frame? Because if macroeconomics is not looking way healthy, how much of the chart captures that things are not really looking healthy at the same time?
Okay, it will be in a spiral movement. Like recently, we are seeing that analysts are predicting we are going to be getting a stagflation, more entering into a recession, a likelihood of a recession. First, they predict stagflation, which is likely to move into a recession. So for now, what I'm expecting, what I'm numbers aren't coming as good for the economy. Okay, so and now with Trump trying to give up more tariffs or to establish more tariffs means that the US dollar is going to be in an inflationary environment, which is bad for the US dollar. Now, a weakening dollar isn't good, or a weakening dollar is good in markets. Okay, the weakening dollar is, as much as the Feds, they really want to know what is tariffs and job numbers and other, other data. They really want to understand how this is affecting their economy. They need these data to be able to decide if maybe during their next meeting, their next FOMC meeting, they're increasing rates or they're going to be staying neutral, just like they did the last time cutting rates. So, diving more into the charts, it depends. If this translates into a week, we're going to be seeing more of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, shooting to the moon.
Okay, it really looks like one of our last hopes, or we should be looking out for, has to be seeing a rate cut, and we understand what much of all this tariff led to. We understand tariff led to all of this because Trump getting into office, he
Yes.
told Jerome Powell it's time to start cutting rates. Jerome Powell being independent is like, hey, it's not great to cut rates yet. And I think Trump understand the game. It is one thing to understand the market, is another thing to influence the market, from your position as the president. It was like, okay, I'm going to force you to cut rate. How is it going to force Brent Powell to cut rates? I think it's a great time to go for trade war. And then when I really look at what they are doing in the name of trade war, I really think that's crazy. That's crazy. You don't actually tax the government in the name of tariff or tax businesses in the name of tariff. If I'm a businessman, I'm an importer and also an exporter, and you decide that I import cars, or I export cars, whatever, in and out, then you decide that, okay, for this car that I am bringing in, you're going to charge a 25% extra fee in the name of tariff. Oh, that's fine. What happens is I increase the price of this. Who's going to pay? It's the people. It's the people at the end of the day. It's the people, the consumer, and then it leads
Yes.
to inflation. You get, and so I think it's very, very crazy when I see what these persons are doing in the name of trade war, and then you're trying to act tougher than this other person. So this person say, okay, 25%, I'm a tough guy. The other ruler, because it looks very much like rulership, and not governance. So okay, I'm going to show you how more tough I am. My people will pay 46% higher than you. I think all of this they are doing in the name of trade war is always crazy. At the end of the day, it's always innocent people who die in every war, and trade
Yeah.
war as well is no different.
Ex-
And so this is our time,
Yes.
So even though the market look a little bit dicey in terms of trades, the Smart Investors Lord, we're a community of traders and investors, and we will make sure as much profitable trade setup that is found, we are going to take those trades, in the inside channel. And but yet in general, this is still a great time for investors who want to buy at discounted rate. It's too early to say that the bull run is over. It's just too early for anybody who is smart to say the bull run is over. The Smart Investors Lodge team is saying the bull run is not over. If there's anybody you should listen to, we are the ones. And these are time. I don't know. You have any final words, Mr. Anthony, before we call it a day?
Okay, just like you said, the market is still in a bit of panic mode. Fear and greed index is about somewhere around 47%, if I'm not mistaken, 45 to 47%. And people are not that confident yet in the really good, because here investing is definitely a psychological game. It's a psychological game, guys. So it is important you understand that these ridiculous cheap prices are opportunities in the market to take advantage advantage of. There are opportunities in the market to take advantage of. And I implore you, those your safe assets that you've got into, probably they must have gone down 10, 20, 30%, which is fine. Remember, it's a psychological game. Okay, it's a psychological game. If you're still sitting down on liquidity, or you're sitting on liquidity, advantage of. Get those your safe assets, add more to your bags, add more to your wallet, add more, to your portfolio, and we'll ride the bull run and make life-changing gains together. Thank you very much. Over to you, the smart investor.
All right, guys. Thanks everyone for staying with us for today's segment of Market Wash Weekly Outlook. What I want you to always see us at as is, you are the captain of your own ship. You are the captain of your own airline. And is there any air captain or a flight captain who starts a flight without looking at the weather, forecast, so understands, where it's going to fly? That's what we do here as your market analyst. We're the officers at wash. We're able to look ahead, and then we tell you what the weather is going to look like, and so that you could safely, manage your investment and trading portfolio profitably. So regardless of what you do, guys, if you must invest or to trade the cryptocurrency market, make sure you're investing and trading smartly. I'm gonna see you on Friday by 7 p.m. where we'll come for a roundup of all the market events and price actions we did forecast